Hello, Grant Writers. Rodney Walker here of Grant Central USA, and welcome. Today, I'm happy to share with you some tips and some trends of what's going on as grant writing in the 21st century. Yes, grant writing in 2021. We're going to be looking at some ways that you want to make sure that you are in alignment with so that you and your grant writing efforts don't get left behind. Gone are the days of doing grant writing like we did before the Google age. I call it doing grant writing like your grandma. Gone are those days. It's important for you to take note of these trends that I'm going to share with you. And trend number one is the following. Grant writing. You can expect the following to happen in your grant writing efforts. There will be an increased importance on social proof. Yes, funders want to know that you really are doing what you say you're doing. So as you're writing proposals, make sure that the organizations that you're working on behalf of, that they have sufficient social proof that can communicate at another level to the funder that what you're doing is really happening. A part of what I'm saying is that your organizations need to make sure that they are managing their reputation online. In addition to this, they want to make sure that they are planting information so that when the funder starts snooping around, and they do snoop around, that they see proof of what your organization is doing. I never will forget calling a funder, and really with this funder, shopping to the funder our ideal, our concept for our proposal. And while I was on the phone shopping the proposal to a potential funder, the funder started typing the name of my organization. All of a sudden I hear click, 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 click. And so she's typing the name of my organization to look at what was going on. Social proof. Expect that to continue to increase, and with technology for it to go even farther than that. Second trend that I want you to be aware of. You will notice that there is an increased importance of social media. Now, that one is somewhat connected to the first one I just shared with you, social proof. Today, as a grant seeker, as someone doing grant development, you must stop seeing yourself simply as a grant writer. If you're doing so, you're completely limiting yourself and your organization's ability to actually get funding, because a part of what you've got to do is look at this whole thing as a grant development campaign. A part of that campaign is going to involve you, my friend, going after proposals and creating social proof, as well as using social media. Now, what do you mean, Rodney, by using social media? Part of what I'm suggesting to you today is that your organization has to stop waiting for the other press to press you, and that you must begin to use social media to create the social proof and to get your message out there. Let me give you one example, because time won't permit me to go into even greater detail, but just one example. When you are going after a proposal to get funded, it only makes sense for your organization to put out messages about that which you are doing in social media. Okay. For instance, that could be something as simple as a press release that you begin to later on start spread the word and place it out on social media. Let's go to the third trend. You will notice an increased importance in AI. And if you're saying Allen Iverson, that's not the AI that I'm talking about. I'm speaking of the importance of artificial intelligence in your grant development efforts. As a grant writer, AI will play an increasing important role in you cranking out proposals quickly. Now, if you're doing grant writing, which I call the way your grandma did grant writing, or if you're doing grant writing the old way, my friend, you may be stuck in simply writing out everything. These days with technology is making it quicker and easier for you to get your message and to place it out. Things such as transcriptions, also things such as being able to use softwares that will self-correct your spelling and help it to be improved. So there's going to be an increased importance of that, and expect it, embrace it, don't run away from it. In addition to that, my friend, did you know that there was a book, a novel that almost won a prize. And this prize was in a novel competition that was written completely by AI with, I think, just a little assistance with it just to clean up a few things. But it almost won. Coming soon are the days when, trust me on this one, where technology will be able to help us to crank out these grant proposals even sooner. So embrace the technology and use it to your advantage. The fourth thing I want to tell you about is an important trend that is coming down the pipeline. And this trend is coming sooner than later. It is the increased importance of online programs. Yes, when COVID hit, things shifted. A lot of funders were not used to funding online types of programs. But when COVID hit, they started funding left and right. COVID brought about an increased importance of online programming. And now if your organization is not doing it, it's going to be left behind, completely left behind. But something very interesting to note with this, many of your programs now are online. Don't expect that to completely go away once COVID is over. You must right now make plans to continue to integrate ways of using online programs in your grant writing efforts, because funders are now open to it and you want to maximize it for your advantage. Let me give you a fifth trend that you want to make sure that you take note of. This fifth trend is the increased importance of, can you guess? Yes, relationships. Because everything now has been mostly on lockdown for a lot of organizations, and there's not the ability for organizations to communicate the same way that they used to with in-person events. Now the whole relational aspect goes to another level. And if you're doing grant writing and you're simply writing and simply submitting proposals to a funder and it's just showing up on their desk, my friend, you're going to lose in this game, because today what's more important, instead of just a piece of paper hidden on the desk, is for the funder to get a feel and a sense about who you and your organization is and what you and your organization is about. That's why back in the day, you could just send a proposal in and they had to either believe you and what you said or do a site visit. These days, now their site visits are taking place on your websites. So make sure that you have all of these things working to your advantage. My friend, that's all the time that I have to share with you now. There are several other trends that I know that are going to be important for you to capitalize on and use. I'll be sharing more with you about these later. In fact, get ready, coming soon for a grant summit that I promise that I'm going to give to you to help you and your organization go to the next level. Also, if you're here and you say, Rodney, man, this is very helpful, I want more, feel free to go over to Get Funded Inner Circle. And if you go and check out the Get Funded Inner Circle, be sure to check out the special $800 free gift that we give you when you become a member of GFIC to help you and your organization to be able to get funded, where I go into much greater detail about some of the information that I've shared here with you today. Remember, my friend, I want you to be brave, to be bold, to be brilliant. Take charge. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and I'll see you soon.